Hello, and welcome to the Brutal Iron Gym podcast, where our goal is to cut through the BS and deliver the brutal truth about topics related to health and happiness. Today's podcast number 1734. The topic is training, and the title is, Do TENS Units and Electrotherapy Help Build Muscle? So one of my clients reached out. They shared a video. They saw a bodybuilder on Instagram working out with a TENS unit on, and they asked, does this help you build muscle? A TENS unit is an electrical kind of therapy. If you don't know what they are, you can just pause the podcast and search that. But it's basically like sticky pads you put on your muscles. You turn on this device and it sends an electric shock from one pad to the other pad, which goes through the belly of the muscle, which causes a muscular contraction. So TENS units and electrotherapy, it creates an involuntary muscular contraction. The general answer to do TENS units help build muscle is no, they don't. But let me expand. The muscle contraction made by a TENS unit is not against any resistance. It would be the same as if you and I just sat here right now flexing my biceps repeatedly. So if I flex my biceps and hold it for 5 seconds, then I relax. Then I flex my biceps and hold it for 5 seconds, and then I relax. Will that build bigger muscles? No. Can that help, with mind-muscle connection? Hell yeah. Can that help get blood flow through the connective tissue of the muscle? So could it help towards some type of connective tissue repair? Hell yeah. There are benefits to it, sure. But does it help build muscle tissue? No, because it doesn't create micro damage within the muscle fibers because there's no external resistance. There's no weight load resistance to the contraction. But this is the caveat. The bodybuilder was using the TENS unit and weighted resistance. So they had the TENS unit would force a muscular contraction, and they were doing it against the weighted resistance of a machine. So they were actually getting both. They were getting the muscle fiber recruitment due to the involuntary contraction of the TENS unit, and they were getting resistance from the machine, so it was creating muscle damage. In theory, if the TENS unit is on a muscle that the athlete or the person using it has a hard time recruiting, or it's an injured tissue, then yes, this could build mind-muscle connection. This could help build tissue. This can help build muscle size when the TENS unit is paired with weighted resistance. So in the situation they saw on Instagram, the bodybuilder using the TENS unit and external resistance load, yes. But the general usage, the way people typically use TENS units without weighted resistance, the answer would be no. It doesn't build muscle tissue. The client then said, would I recommend a client to use a TENS unit in the gym under weighted resistance? Generally, no. If you're under supervision of somebody who's an expert at doing that, and they're literally sitting there watching you move, they're controlling the strength of the contraction, the intensity of the contraction, sure. I mean, that would be something really fun to try. I know that there are companies that offer that, and that would be super fun to do. I understand that would be, appealing. So if you could get that situation where an expert is with you, they're controlling everything, hell yeah, go for it. But do I believe you should just grab a TENS unit and go to the gym on your own? No, I don't think that's a really good idea. And it's not necessary. People have built amazing physiques without needing to do that. So could it be something that somebody uses on a fine-tuning aspect and that last few percentage of being their best selves? Absolutely. But most people are limited in growth due to nutrition, like improper nutrition, and improper training, like application, understanding, improper programming, and their ability to utilize that program. So a TENS unit would be kind of the final few percentages that a pro would use to be better than other pros or to fix an injury. But really, for all of us listening to the podcast, myself included, is we should all, and for that pro, gang, this is good advice for the pro as well, is to focus on the basics first. They would only ever get to that point of doing it if they have everything else in place first. So when you think of something new or something weird, or you see something, learn as much as you can. Ask questions, absolutely. But before you would apply it, ask yourself, am I doing the basic things first? Put first things first, right? Perfect the basics. Am I eating enough? Am I eating at the right times? Do I have a good, proper training program? Am I understanding mind-muscle connection? Make sure you're doing the basic things perfect first. Put your effort and energy and focus there. And then as you get those things right, you can look into the weird, nuancy things. Okay? So the general answer is no, TENS units do not help build muscle, but in specific situations in which you use a TENS unit and weight of resistance, yes. There you go. So if you're looking for good programming, we do have our one-on-one coaching service, and we have our live monthly programming service, which provides really good programming, and it provides the opportunity for one-on-one education, but it's a little less involved, therefore it's a little cheaper. You can figure out those, so you can find more about those services on our website at www.brutalirongym.com. If you have any questions, if you need anything, let me know. My email is brutalirongym@gmail.com. If you like the podcast, please share the podcast. If you like the podcast, please consider donating to support the podcast, which you can do on our website. And if you like the information we share in the podcast, you can find more from us on our social media channels on Instagram and YouTube. You can find us and follow us under the name Brutal Iron Gym. As always, I hope this was helpful, and thank you for listening.